Hey, what's up? Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe, Brandon Orr. I got my buddy Chris Hyde with me today. And today is day 6 of the Giving Tuesday fundraiser. Today we're going to talk about connecting with divine love and ourselves and others. And I couldn't really ask somebody better to do this than Chris today. He definitely gives his all when he gives it. And we're just super blessed to have him today. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. Happy to be here. I was
Yeah.
surprised when you called. I had some things going on. I was like, I'll be there, man. I'll be there.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. That's one thing about you that I love the most is like your willingness to do service work.
Yeah.
Put it in and just put yourself out there. I know this can be a little nerve-wracking because really I called him literally this morning and said, "You want to get on?" He's like, "Yeah." But how you been doing during this COVID-19 episode?
Oh, good, man. You know, it's unprecedented events in our life. You know, like you can't think about when we were kids. When did school get shut down for indefinitely? When did stores get shut down? You know, if you walk into a store wearing a mask before, they're going to call the police on you. Now they want you to do it. And it's a lot to take in, right? But it's just one of those things where it's like, this will pass for sure, you know? And it took some getting used to. Everybody was real, like, on edge. I would see people, like, walking down the street with guns and, like, on their shoulder. And I'm like, man, it's really not the apocalypse, right? It's okay. Like, everybody chill out. And,
Right?
They start closing everything down and they start speculating everything out. And I'm just like, you know, we're going to continue executing our duties faithfully to the people that we serve every day. And I'm not going to let this affect me, my outlook on life, my perspective on how the world works. Like, this is just a process, you know, and we'll get through it. We've been getting through it well. I've been getting through it well. I wake up every morning, I do pretty much the same thing.
Routine stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't go to the mall and it's hard to find a haircut, but, you know, other than that, we're good, right? But yeah, it's good, man. It seems like it's getting better too. So
Are you finding positives throughout this COVID-19?
You know, I am. Like, I've noticed, well, if you look, I've seen a lot of pictures on Facebook of all the big cities and all the sky is like crystal clear, and it's like, I've never seen that before.
I saw that.
People are just, they're everywhere. You see them on social media spending time with their families, playing board games. Like, they're just really reconnecting. And like, obviously the sanitation standard has gone up everywhere.
Right.
You know, you walk into a store and you sanitize the cart and it's like, you know, I hope this part sticks around, right?
Right.
I saw a post that said, "When this is over, please remain 6 feet away from me." And I was like, that's kind of funny, you know?
Yeah.
I think there is good things that come out of it, you know, but it really just depends on your perspective. You have to be an optimistic person, right? You have to realize, like, this is what we're dealing with, and now what can we get out of this that's beneficial, right? And the more you think that way, the more that you see, right? And like, the blessings continue to come. And as long as you notice them, then they continue to come. And it's when you cross that line to that negative perspective of when all this bad stuff is happening, then it continues.
Like feeding into it.
Yeah, then it continues to come, you know, and you attract that. And so I'm just like, well, look at all that. Look at this that's going on. Like, look at this.
That's what Stephanie and I do. We try to point out the positives of it. So we got this list over here of all the positive things we've got done, and we've helped people with employment, rental assistance, new members, oriented here. We've got over 20,000 Facebook live views. Let me just throw that out there.
Yeah.
Help people get into treatment during COVID. That's been a big deal. Help people into housing. We got one of my buddies who bought a car. We got a couple of new people that re-engaged during this, which is a big deal. Help people get in the MAT program. We bought phones for people that don't have them so they can do the Zoom circles for themselves. And we've helped people with food assistance, with food cards.
That's a cool list, because those are all things that people have in their mind that they want to do, and they're caught up in the, you know, the daily grind of just going every day, like almost like New Year's resolution. Like, oh, I'm going to start going back to the gym. I'm going to start eating good. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to go get on mat. I'm going to buy a car. Well, it's actually slowed everybody down enough to like really think about their goals and the things that they want to do, and then actually attempt to pursue a lot of them. And I've noticed that a lot, like everywhere I go, especially in the work that I do, the work that you do, that's seems to be increased, right? A lot of industries are affected negatively, but I feel like our line of work, our field that we do, and the people that we serve,
really in the field of people.
In the field of people, exactly, of just helping people keep their focus, right? it seems like the focus is really they have time to slow down and get back to the focus.
And it's really important that I notice, like, every day I got to like refocus myself and remember that I'm helping people, so I got to be on my A game to make sure that people can stay on their A game. Do you feel that?
Absolutely.
Right.
I do. I mean, it takes, you can't do it if you don't feel it yourself.
Right.
You know, and I you know, I don't want to ever touch on anything negative, but I've kind of been struggling with that because you see the good results, and then when you see the bad ones, then it's hard to like not cross over into that negative territory.
Shake them right.
Of getting discouraged by the things that you can't do with people or for people, or that they don't want to do. And it's like, how do I get them to come across? You know,
time, right?
Time, yeah.
And inspiration, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Inspiration. Be that inspiration. That's
just lead by example. You know,
that perfect. Lead by example.
People see you doing things, and then or if they know you from the past, and they're just like, man, if you can do this, then I can definitely do that. And I'm like, yeah. Brandon and I, we can tell you some stories about that, for sure. So
you are not kidding. I could talk about this with you for the rest of the day. Just want a whole conversation with you. They're just very intellectual, and I just love talking to you. But today we have a topic, and today's topic is connect with divine love in ourselves and others. And when you read that or even say it aloud, what does that mean to you?
Man, just be a good person, man. Just love yourself, you know. Just when you grow up as a kid, you think about what you want to do, you know, and what you want to be, and then you lose that focus. It's like when you get back to that is when you really are connecting yourself with divine love. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing? And then you just start to do it, and you don't even really know what's causing you to do it. You just know that it feels good, and it's
divine.
You know, it's divine. Yeah, like how do you explain it? You know, and so I wake up in the morning, man, and I just do the same thing. I told myself this. I just want to help people. You know, I spent a lot of years obviously not helping people, and just looking back.
Totally just helping yourself.
Yeah, being selfish, and you know, and it's like I lost a lot of time from that, and people who know me know that, and it's like you have nothing, you can't get that back, right? And so now it's like I just want to be a good person. I want to help people not to have to live that life that I was able to get away from, and that was divine. You know, I don't even know how that happened, right?
All of a sudden.
Yeah, you know, what seemed like a curse turned to a blessing. It's just you really, if you don't love yourself and love other people, then really what are you doing? You're not even living. You know? Right. You're just existing.
You said something that you don't know exactly how it happened. If you had to give it some thought, do you know where the change came from? Where you figured like, okay, it's not about me, it's about helping others. Where did that come from with you?
Oh man, you don't have enough time for that. Really,
try me.
I mean, I just, you know, I lost out on a lot of opportunities, and I did it to myself, right? And I was like, you know, and then it wasn't just me that was suffering, right? It was my family that was suffering, my kids that were suffering, people who loved me that were suffering, you know, people that knew me, but like before I was struggling, like, what happened, you know? And I'm like, man, I don't even know. And so I really learned that it's really not about me. Like, I can help myself, and that's only one person, right? And so what can only one person really do? As opposed to if you can help like hundreds of people, right, then what can they do? You know, it's like a spider web, and it just keeps getting bigger. And so I just really realized that like this is not the life that I want to live, and I know what the life is that I want to live, and I started living it, and I started just getting blessings from it. And I was like, nothing that I used to do was ever going to get me to where I'm going now, right?
Or where you want to be.
Yeah, or where I want to be. And so I was like, man, if I could get other people to see that, you know, it's like, yeah, it's slow and steady, but it's sure. It's slow and steady, and it's for sure, you know. And so now, and really it's just rewarding, like those things on your list up there, like the feeling that the people that you help with the rental assistance or help, you know, get into treatment or housing, get a car, even a phone. Like sometimes they just, man, I really want to get a job. Just saying, I don't even have a phone. Somebody call me. You help them get a phone. And then that energy, you see it in them. They don't even have to say anything. You can feel it, right? And yeah, and it's like that could just be what it takes to pop, right? For that person to now I got a phone. Now I can apply for all these jobs. Now I can, you know, and then they get a job. And it's just sometimes it just takes one of those tiny little things up there to really, you know, put that first brick on the foundation, right? And then they just start building it. And so it's it's the little things. Like people used to tell me, oh, it's the little things, and I'm like, it's not about the little things. Like I want to do these big things, you know. And it's like, but those are big things, and they become big things if they do it. They get excited, and then that's rewarding, right?
Right.
Because it's like you see them 6 months later, a year later. Oh, I'm working now. I got to play.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, man, I love you, man. I'm proud of you. Good job, And then
that's
like, oh, thank you. But I didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You did that.
Yeah.
I just helped you to see that you could do that. And so
sometimes that's all we need.
Yeah.
And that's like for me personally. God, there was so much good stuff in there. For me personally, it's like the way I get divine love from myself is absolutely giving it back to others. Because there's a lot of people that I've learned in this field that like don't know how to love themselves.
Yeah. And
it took me a long time and it took me a lot of work, in particular, to fully understand how to love myself the correct way.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that be brushing teeth, combing hair, making bed, it'd be the little things that it takes,
basics,
all the way to that's how I'm able to give back to somebody, is showing them how I did it,
Mm-hmm.
And I believe within that, like that transformation is divine.
Yeah.
And it just takes a little bit of effort from myself to get to somebody who's struggling in order for them to feel it. And then guess what? They give it to somebody else. And they give it to somebody else. Like you said, the spider web.
Yeah.
I totally believe that.
And that thing that I just touched on too about like if people say, oh man, if you could do that, then I could do that. Well, it's like you were an inspiration to me before I even came home for the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hear about what you were doing. And I was just like, really? Like that's amazing, and that's cool. And then you just continue to do it too. And it's like, you were the previous example of that, right?
Right.
You're living proof of it. And so I was like, well, I can do that. And so it's like now I know there's hundreds of people out here that we just got to find them, that feel the same way, right? And I know there's hundreds of people because, we knew hundreds of people. So, but it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing what just getting up every morning and just doing what you know or you think you should be doing really gets back to you,
So much good stuff in there. So I have a question for you. What are some of your best successes in your recovery?
Oh man. Obviously the first and foremost number one thing is like my family answers the phone now. You know what I mean? Like that's good. That's a blessing. That's something that you don't realize how bad it hurts while it's going on, and then you realize how nice it is when they do, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how did I even get to where I was that separated from the people that I love, right? That's the biggest one. I lost a lot of time with my kids, and my daughter's a teenager now, and so it's like, that's a difficult thing on its own already. And they called me the other day, just to see what I'm doing, and I'm like, and it's like, I always usually have to reach out to them, and they're just hanging out in the hot tub, and I was like, hey, you guys just made my day. Like, so that's a big thing, right? It's a little thing, but it's a big thing.
That's
right?
huge, bro.
Just like I have a job that I love now. Like this is the first time I've ever had a job that
you want to go to.
Every morning, like it's not even a big deal. Like people say, how do you sleep at night? It's like, I sleep great. Or they say, when do you sleep? And I'm like, I sleep very little. You know what I mean? They're like, how do you do all these hours, be in all these places and do all this stuff all at once? And it's like, because I sleep great at night. Like I can function on 3 or 4 hours because I love what I do. Like I feel happiness in my heart when I go to sleep. I'm like, oh cool, and it's
get that rest.
And that's divine. Like I have no idea where that comes from. Like I've never in my life have been able to function on about 4 hours of sleep, right?
Right.
And so that's probably the biggest one. Is like for the first time in my life. I mean, I was a firefighter in the past. I loved that job. I used to build, and I loved that job. But it's like, at the end of the day, like, well, what are we doing? Like, we're putting out the fire, cool, that's good. We saved a couple people from their house burning.
Build a house,
you build a house, and it's like, so you see this house on the hill, right? But like, those aren't everlasting things, right? And now it's like, when I do, it's like, and you're only doing that for that one project, that building, or that fire, or that, you're going to make a difference maybe a couple times here and there. But it's like, in this job, it's like every day, all day, you can impact everyone that you come across, right?
Oh man, dude.
And it's like, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
So how do you? So let's just be real, like, and you guys out there that are in this field too, that like it's not an easy field to be in. There's a lot of negativity. How do you keep positive?
Divine, man, I don't know. Like, there's so much
you're
stuff.
positive, bro.
I can't answer some of these questions, right? Because it's like I don't really know. Like I have been struggling with that, with just like the success rate of the people that I want to help. Like, so for example, I'm working out here in Grants Pass at this women's center, and I'm starting to ask people, when is, you know, what do you plan on doing when this is over? You know, because it's going to be over soon. And some of them, they're excited, they have a plan, they want to get into other programs, you know, Kelly Shelter, wherever. And other of them, they haven't even thought about it. They're not even thinking about it. They don't seem to care about it. And it's like, that's discouraging to me, because it's like, look, man, tell me what it is that you think, you know, what do you want to do? And let's make sure that you can do that. Let's make that happen.
Let's make a plan.
What's the problem? You know, let's do that. And don't get me wrong, like, it's probably more than not that do want to do the next step, take the next step. But it's like, I struggle with not getting caught up on the ones who don't, because like you cannot help every person that you come across, right? But like I said, I stay positive because of those things. People sign up, you know, I sign 20 people up for a phone, you know, and if they get a phone, then cool, that's 20 people that have a chance to do something else. That helps somebody make a resume, or it helps them get a job. Like, it's all those little things that pop. That one positive result is like worth 10 of the negative results. You know, it's like the opposite of a relationship, where if you say something mean to your girl, right, she remembers that
for the rest
for
of
10 times that you say something nice. Well, doing this is like the opposite of that. Like, one good thing, it like wipes out 10 of the negative ones.
I love that.
And
I love that.
So it's just, yeah, it's I don't know how I stay positive, because it's like, that is powerful. So it's powerful.
Because every time I see you, you're always upbeat. You're always at tempo. You're never really offbeat, and I just like, that's something I totally admire about you, and that I definitely look up to in many ways, because I try to be that way myself, and I think it's really important in this field that we stay on our A game. So here's the last question. You ready?
Yeah.
ChrisH.
Yeah.
Somebody who is a survivor of addiction.
Absolutely.
Somebody who has been down, who's built themselves back up. What's your proudest moment?
My proudest moment. I mean, I can't put a finger on one, because it's like every day is the next one. Like, my proudest moment every day is just like waking up in the morning every day, and I'm like, I'm not living the life today that I was living that life then. And it's like, I would say my proudest moment is like, there's nothing to this point now, there's nothing that could knock me off that course. Like, you know, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, and that is something to be proud of, because in a lot of times, you know, people struggle with addiction for years. They'd be in recovery for years, and they sometimes always feel like and I'm not going to say, oh, I'm healed, I'm never going to, you know, go back to, but it's like, at this point in time and in this moment, it doesn't, in my mind, I feel like it doesn't matter how bad anything could get. Like, nothing could knock me off my course, because it's in my heart. It's like,
I love that.
It's in there. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
You've instilled it.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in me, not on me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going
anywhere. You know, not everybody's like that.
You know, and yeah, and I don't even know where that came from. It's just, I mean, I'm just proud that I'm confident that I will be able to do this for a very long time, and people won't have to worry about me. You know, like, I'm proud that I don't even have to worry about me. You know, like, I'm content.
You did a lot of soul searching and self searching when you were down, huh?
When I was going, yeah. You know, and that's, a lot of people don't, that's something maybe that plays a bigger part than I've even been able to be conscious of. Is like, I was stripped of the opportunity to progress, you know, for 5 years. So when that's taken away from you, if you take everything you love, everything that a man loves away from him, with absolutely no ability to have it back for a set amount of time, you know, and your values get restored, and your sobriety comes, and you start to get recovery, and you're like, you know, I'm going to get back to that stuff. And when I get back to that stuff, it's going to be with a sick vendetta to do what I'm missing out on doing now, right? And so that's why I feel maybe that it's so much in my core, and I take that for granted sometimes. Like I said, that was a curse, right? But it's turned into a blessing, because it's like, now time is all we have, right? And we can't get that back. And
I told somebody that earlier today. Weird.
And so, and it's like, all we have is now. We don't. It doesn't matter what we had then. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what's going to happen tomorrow. It's one day at a time. You know.
No, that's
we
real.
only have today, right? And
what are we going to do with it?
Whatever you want to do tomorrow, you better do the steps for that today. You know, and you better do what you have to do to get where you think you're going to go. You better do that today. And then tomorrow when you wake up, you better do that today. And then tomorrow when you wake up, you better do that today. Right. And so, yeah, I mean, that's
complete strive.
Yeah, it's just it's amazing, man.
Well, you're amazing, bro.
Thank you.
And we are so blessed to have you.
I appreciate you.
Man, you guys, there was a lot in there that I really loved, and I loved hearing. My heart's so full today that we're able to do the jobs we get to do by helping people. That to me is very significant, and it moves mountains when you're able to help somebody that's unable to help themselves, and get into their lives, and you get to be there for as long as they allow you to. I know for when I help people, you ain't getting rid of me unless you want to. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just how it is. But we're super grateful to have you on today. We are on our day 6 of the Giving Tuesdays. Is tomorrow the last day? So tomorrow's the last day. So whatever you guys can do to provide help, we sure would appreciate it. We've got a couple good donors. We want to thank you guys out there. That means a lot. And we'll be on tomorrow with Mr. Bill Mance.
Live cafe tonight.
And we have live cafe tonight. The Zoom link will be on our Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe page. Show up. Come let us know who you are if we don't know who you are. We're super excited to have you. I just said 3 times and I can't stand that.
That's what people do when they're nervous.
Yeah, I know. I am. I'm a little nervous today. But I do appreciate you guys showing up. Is there anything else? All right, we're going to sign off, you guys. See you guys tonight at 6 o'clock. That's what it was. Yeah. 6 o'clock tonight. Zoom. Be there. Be square. Love you. God bless.